Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation Homebrew news and much, much more. So today I have rounded up some of the best news for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and wanted to bring that to you in a condensed format. With that being said, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, a couple of the bigger news items first. The first being that GoldHEN version 2.2.4 was released, as well as GoldHEN version 2.2.3. So a number of things was added in this. There is a new debug settings, there's a cheat settings, K-log settings, as well as there's a new shortcut for GoldHEN, PlayStation 2 cheat support, and then added Southbridge information, which allows you to see which kernel you're currently running on that will help you determine what files that you need for Linux. There is also a refactored GoldHEN menu. Now, I have covered the 2.2.3 release as well as the 2.2.4 release over here on my YouTube channel. So 2.2.4 had a fix in there. I'll walk through the fix and actually show you the bugs that was happening. And then I made a separate video here for the Southbridge feature for Linux, showing you how you can get that information, and then a complete walkthrough of GoldHEN 2.2.3 with every new feature that was added and how you can go ahead and take advantage of those. So there's 3 videos that covers GoldHEN, so hopefully you will get the information that you need from one of those 3 videos. Next up, we had a bit of news of a couple of new system software updates for the PlayStation 4 as well as the PlayStation 5. So for the PlayStation 4, we are now setting on version 10.0. This was released on September the 7th, 2022. And there's only a couple of items here for the PS4. So it says, while using the internet browser, you can now select between 2 types of zoom functions. Zoom lets you increase the size of the elements on the page while adjusting their layout, so everything fits without having to scroll left or right. And then there is a magnify, which increases the size of everything on the page with layout adjustments. The maximum zoom magnification rate is now at 500%. And then they've also updated the following for remote play. So we've made it easier to make use of the keyboard on your PC or Mac when you are using PS Remote Play, and they've removed the text entry box so you can use the keyboard or type directly onto your PS5 console or PS4 console. And then in addition to typing, you can now use the keyboard to control games that support it. And as you can see here, there was just these couple of things added in here compared to what we had for the PlayStation 5. So for the PlayStation 5, we are now setting on version 6.00. Again, this was released on the same exact date, so September the 7th, 2022. So I'm not going to read through all of these features that came out with 6.00, but I did want to note some of the big ones. And the big one really being 1440p HDMI video output is now supported. Apparently, this was one of the top requested things that gamers wanted for PlayStation 5. I personally have never used 1440p, so if you use it, maybe you can let me know in the comments. Why were people wanting 1440p so badly? And then a couple of other things that was in here was that in the game base card, you can now send stickers and voice messages to your groups. Again, that same kind of thing that we saw for the PlayStation 4 for the web browser and the zoom functions. And then again, there is voice commands that now support searching for content in YouTube using voice. And a couple of improvements for the screen reader. And then again, this same exact thing for the remote play. Keep in mind, for the most part, they're really not working on the PlayStation 4, but they're really doing all of their work over here for the PlayStation 5. and the pieces that they're able to port out very easily, it seems like that's the one that they're focusing on. So anyway, 2 new updates, and again, as always, you do not want to update to either one of these. Next up, a bit more of PS5 news, and that is that Sony has quietly redesigned the inside of the PlayStation 5. Basically, what has happened here is that the updated model's motherboard has been reduced in size by about 2 inches. The cooling has been changed through an additional heat pipe at the back of the console and a smaller heatsink, and the SSD enclosure has also been changed slightly. So there is this really nice image here. Here is the 1000 model, here is the 1100, and then the 1200 model, and you can see a bit of the differences between the 3 of these. Especially you can see how much smaller it's gotten in the 1200 versus the 1000 model right here. There was a couple of other images that I thought was interesting. These being that the PS5 1000 weighed in at 3.5 pounds. The 1100 was 3 pounds, and now we're setting at 2.5 pounds for the PlayStation 5. So basically, the PS5 lost weight, and it lost a total of 1 pound, which is pretty awesome. And there is a couple of more shots that is included in this post, which obviously I will link to in the description below, which shows you a bit of the difference between these models. So definitely pretty cool and worth checking out. Also in PlayStation 5 news, well, hello there, Homebrew enthusiast. If you are not subscribed to my channel, then please do so. I would absolutely love to have you, and you can always get your latest dose of PlayStation Homebrew news and much, much more. So please subscribe. There was this gray Camouflage Collection that joined the PS5 accessory lineup starting this fall. Now, I really like the camo style. As you can see, this is actually my main controller for my Xbox 360, so I had to give this just a little bit of love, even though it's a different style of camo. But it does look like this could be pretty awesome. So it comes with the DualSense wireless controller, the console cover, as well as the Pulse 3D wireless headset. So it is coming again in this fall. So I thought this was a cool thing for those that kind of like some camo on our gaming gear. All right, so back to PlayStation 4 Homebrew news. I saw this tweet that came out, and it was by Developer58, and it says here, I added the debug settings application on my PS4 Pro by modifying the database with the ID of the debug settings folder and also adding the debug settings icon in a folder. It is a shortcut, the same as in the settings. So here is kind of a sample of what that looks like. So basically what you could do with this is that you could quickly go to debug settings or navigate to that menu by simply adding an entry into the database. Now there is a video that completely details this process that's right around 6 minutes long, where they kind of showed you what you needed to do in order to get this set up. So DB browser for SQLite, at least for Windows users, and it's modifying the app.db, which we have covered this and we've talked about this in a previous episode here on the channel, but definitely something that may be worth checking out if you want to add a quicker option or a way to get to debug settings on your PlayStation 4. Next up in PSVR2 news, I saw that the diagram of all of the different pieces of the PSVR2 headset had pretty much been shown in this YouTube channel that came out on September the 6th. So if you watch this video right here, the first part was the bottom view, and then they scroll over and they show the top view, and then finally the back view. And you can see all of the different components that's going to make up PSVR2. Now, I always love this type of information because we don't have it just yet, but it does give you a little bit more information about what the PSVR2 is kind of set up to do for you. So if you're very much interested in that, I definitely think you should check out this video because you can at least get an idea of what to come with the PSVR2. And then I wanted to share just a couple of screenshots of some of the creative ways people have been using the ESP32-S2 device. So if you don't know, you can use these little simple $3 to $4 ESP32-S2 devices to locally host GoldHEN. So you wouldn't need to require some sort of host or any sort of internet connection, but you can do it yourself and you can put it on a little tiny device. Well, so I've got one and mine looks like this inside of a little case that I 3D printed. Now that's mine, but here is some other people that's far more creative than I am. So this is one that is extremely popular and they used a PlayStation memory card. I'm kind of blown away that there was 182 likes off of this tweet, but that's one implementation of it. And then there was this other one here where they used a Game Boy Advanced game shell and they also printed out GoldHEN. This is actually one of my favorite ways that I've seen people taking care of the ESP32-S2 device. And then finally, I wanted to call out this one because it was that retro PlayStation 2 memory card that they were also using their ESP32-S2 device. So anyway, there's been a ton of these that have come in. I've only handpicked really 3 of them. So going back to the original PlayStation memory card, to this PlayStation 2 memory card, to finally using Game Boy Advanced. But if you have one that you think is pretty cool, drop it into the comments below, maybe put it on Imager or somewhere like that. I would like to take a look at it. Hey, and if I like it, I'll include it in the next PlayStation Homebrew news. And then we have been getting a couple of secrets coming out from Lappy, who created PlayStation 4 Explorer 2.0. So the very first secret was, if you want background music while using PS4 Explorer 2.0, just copy a OGG song called auto.ogg on data/PS4 Explorer, and basically you can have some background music inside of PS4 Explorer. I thought this was a really cool Easter egg, and this one came out on September the 1st, and then I checked again. And then today, at least on September the 8th, I saw that secret number 2 is now out, and this is an Easter egg, and this is hidden music. So it says PS4 Explorer 2.0 doesn't support MP3s, but if you rename any file as my country name with that extension, you will hear a surprise from Ricardo. So Lappy is from Cuba, I believe. So let's go to his profile, and there we go. So if you basically name something cuba.mp3 and play it, then I believe you will hear this surprise. Now, I haven't tested this personally, but I think that you will get a surprise there. And if you really want to know everything new that happened with PS4 Explorer 2.0, well, I also have you covered there. I created a comprehensive guide and I went through every new feature of PS4 Explorer, and there is chapter markers all the way around here. So give me some love and check out this video. Give it a like if you like the video, and I would greatly appreciate that. And then my final bit of news roundup isn't really relating to the homebrew scene, but it was this post and lots of conversations that's been coming out in regards to PlayStation's Xbox Call of Duty offer was inadequate on many levels. So it says Microsoft has offered for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 3 years beyond the current deal. So this has been going back and forth, and in case you didn't know, Microsoft bought Activision, and since they bought Activision, it came with Call of Duty. And for PlayStation users, we were wondering what's going to happen to Call of Duty, especially on the PlayStation. Well, Microsoft has basically said that they're going to support it, I believe, until 2027, meaning that it will be on all platforms. But then after that, it's kind of up in the air. And I did post about this on Twitter just a few moments ago, but basically what I said in there was that this is just business. This has happened multiple times before. And really, if you're a PlayStation user and you really want to play Call of Duty, I hate to say it, but eventually you're just going to have to get an Xbox. That's just business, and that's just the deal, and that's just how it went down. And so anyway, I would really like to know your opinion on the matter. What do you think about the Xbox deal of acquiring Activision and possibly Call of Duty not remaining on PlayStation consoles? Is it something you're worried about, or are you just like me and you don't really care? Well, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out.